Imagine standing in the middle of the Persian Gulf, looking down from a helicopter at a giant palm, not a real palm tree, but one made entirely of sand and rock. It sounds like something from a science fiction movie, yet in the early 2000s, Dubai turned this impossible dream into reality. Palm Jumeirah was announced as one of the most ambitious construction projects in human history. Built by developer Nakheel, the artificial island would add hundreds of kilometers of new waterfront property to Dubai's coastline. The project cost billions of dollars and required more than 100 million cubic meters of sand dredged from the seabed. Around the world, investors rushed to buy homes before construction was even completed. Celebrities, business tycoons, and wealthy families competed for luxury villas on the palm-shaped island. Property values skyrocketed almost overnight. Dubai seemed unstoppable. The island quickly became a symbol of limitless ambition. Promotional videos promised a paradise of luxury resorts, pristine beaches, and extravagant lifestyles. Palm Jumeirah wasn't just a real estate project. It was a statement that Dubai could achieve anything. But beneath the glamorous marketing and record-breaking headlines, serious problems were already emerging. Engineers, environmental experts, and even some investors began raising concerns. Questions about the island's design, environmental impact, and long-term sustainability started to surface. At first, few people paid attention. After all, the money was flowing, construction was booming, and the world was watching in amazement. Yet the cracks in the dream were already beginning to form. Constructing Palm Jumeirah was an engineering challenge unlike anything attempted before. Workers couldn't simply pour concrete into the sea and hope for the best. Every grain of sand had to be carefully placed with incredible precision. Massive dredging ships sucked sand from the floor of the Persian Gulf and sprayed it into position using GPS technology. Engineers relied on satellite systems to shape the palm's trunk, fronds, and surrounding crescent breakwater. The scale was staggering. More than 7 million tons of rock were transported from distant quarries to create the protective barrier surrounding the island. This crescent-shaped wall was designed to shield the development from powerful waves and storms. But creating an artificial island brought unexpected consequences. The breakwater restricted natural water circulation around the palm. Environmental experts warned that stagnant water could become a serious issue. Without sufficient movement, water quality might deteriorate, affecting marine life and creating unpleasant conditions for residents. Despite these warnings, construction continued at a relentless pace. Demand for property remained explosive. Developers prioritized expansion, luxury, and speed. Meanwhile, another concern emerged. The island was built almost entirely from sand rather than solid rock foundations. Although engineers used sophisticated compaction techniques, some critics questioned how the structure would perform over decades. Then there were the environmental costs. Coral reefs were disturbed, marine ecosystems were altered, and local wildlife habitats changed dramatically. Conservation groups argued that the long-term effects were being overlooked in favor of short-term profits. Still, Dubai's leaders remained confident. Palm Jumeirah was nearing completion, luxury villas were selling rapidly, and international media celebrated the project as a modern wonder. For a brief moment, it seemed the gamble had paid off. Then the global economy collapsed in 2008. The world was hit by one of the worst financial crises in modern history. Housing markets crashed, banks failed, and investor confidence evaporated almost overnight. Dubai was not immune. For years, the city's explosive growth had been fueled by easy credit, rising property values, and international investment. Palm Jumeirah became one of the most visible symbols of that boom. But when the global financial system began unraveling, the island's fortunes changed dramatically. Property prices across Dubai plunged. Some homes lost more than half their value within months. Investors who had purchased units expecting quick profits suddenly found themselves trapped in a collapsing market. Construction on many nearby developments slowed or stopped entirely. Several ambitious megaprojects across Dubai were postponed, redesigned, or quietly abandoned. The era of unlimited growth had come to an abrupt halt. Palm Jumeirah remained partially occupied, but many villas and apartments sat empty. Streets that were expected to be bustling with residents felt unusually quiet. Some observers began describing sections of the development as a ghost resort because so many properties remained vacant. Developers struggled with debt, while buyers attempted to renegotiate contracts or walk away from purchases altogether. Confidence in Dubai's property sector was badly shaken. International headlines questioned whether the city's grand vision had gone too far. Critics argued that Palm Jumeirah represented an unsustainable model driven more by speculation than genuine demand. The dream island that once symbolized prosperity had become a cautionary tale about real estate bubbles and excessive ambition. For the first time, people wondered whether Palm Jumeirah would ever fulfill its original promise. The future suddenly looked uncertain. While financial troubles dominated headlines, Palm Jumeirah faced challenges that money alone couldn't easily solve. One of the biggest concerns involved water circulation. The Crescent breakwater successfully protected the island from rough seas, but it also limited the natural flow of water. Early reports suggested that some areas experienced reduced circulation, leading to concerns about water quality and marine health. Engineers eventually introduced modifications and openings within the breakwater to improve movement. While conditions improved, the issue highlighted the complexity of altering natural environments on such a massive scale. Maintenance also proved more expensive than many anticipated. Artificial islands require constant monitoring, erosion management, infrastructure repairs, and environmental oversight. Unlike natural coastlines, these engineered landscapes need continuous intervention to remain stable. Transportation became another challenge. As more residents moved in, congestion increased along the island's main access routes. Despite luxury surroundings, commuters often faced traffic bottlenecks entering and leaving the development. Then there was the issue of expectations. Palm Jumeirah had been marketed as the ultimate paradise. Anything less than perfection invited criticism. Residents expected flawless beaches, world-class services, and uninterrupted luxury. When problems emerged, they attracted disproportionate attention because the project had been promoted as an engineering masterpiece. Meanwhile, some environmental experts continued raising concerns about long-term ecological impacts. Changes to coastal currents, marine habitats, and sediment patterns remained subjects of debate. The reality was becoming clear. Palm Jumeirah wasn't simply a luxury neighborhood. It was a giant experiment in reshaping geography itself. Experiments on this scale rarely proceed without complications, yet despite the setbacks, something surprising was about to happen. Instead of fading into failure, Palm Jumeirah began staging one of the most remarkable recoveries in modern real estate history. Against the odds, Palm Jumeirah refused to disappear. As global markets recovered during the 2010s, Dubai launched a broader transformation strategy focused on tourism, infrastructure, and international business. The city invested heavily in attracting visitors, entrepreneurs, and high-net-worth individuals from around the world.